targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Nice little banter between the two of them.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsay says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Suddenly he's like a field away.
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
A little
What
creepy.
is this, Ramsay? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Attano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks. For now, I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Caldwin, your rightful empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Impossible.
Delilah?
My mother had a sister?
I left you.
Dearest niece. Hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Euhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector. How naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful Empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
What?
Corvo.
Still my heart.
Okay. Firstly, I thought I left her to die in the void. Or to become part of the void. Or be the void. Regardless, she shouldn't be here. So I think well, I'm tempted in playing as Emily. Probably kind of want to continue as Corvo. Just like played the first game as Corvo. Kind of want to play the second game as Corvo. But at the same time, I know. I kind of want to play as Emily. You know what? Fuck it, we'll play as her. Maybe I'll end up doing 4 playthroughs of this. One as high chaos, one as low chaos Emily, one as low chaos Corvo, one as high chaos Emily, one as high chaos Corvo. I'm making too much work for myself. Anyway, we'll read these. Play as Corvo Attano, legendary royal protector to the Empress, and figure of infamy from the time of the Rat Plague. Also, winner of Dunwall's Sexiest Man contests 10 years running. Plays Emily Caldwin, ruler of the Emperor of the Isles, trained in stealth and combat by her father, Corvo Attano. Oh, this is actually a hard choice. Also, so much for the no killing route, eh? For Corvo at least. Decapitated 2 guys and impaled another in the chest. Nothing with a Korean bayonet, but close enough. 10 points if you get song I'm referencing. Can I be honest? I'm still actually rather indecisive. I kind of want to play as Corvo just because it's what I'm used to. But I kind of want to play as Emily because new character. Again, I could play multiple times and I'm not even sure how much of a difference it makes. You know what? You start off as her. Let's continue as her.
Cast you in cold marble. No! Sweet girl, over time you will come to love me. Perhaps someday you'll see me as the mother you lost. But until then, you'll be kept out of trouble.
I'll lock Lady Emily in her chambers, and then I'll bring her to Coldman Prison until her trial. My father lost it all when I was a boy, so now I wear this uniform, and I send 20-year-olds out to patrol the rose gardens instead of drinking with the men from the shooting club.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lady Emily, what happened?
I'll be all Captain Mayhew.
No!
Fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half? There's a legend in the Tower Guard about the Empress's last resort, a safe room inside their chambers holding enough gold to buy a good-sized island. They say that this ring is one of the only 2 keys to exist.
What happened? Alexei. The throne room. Father. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
To be honest, part of me is thinking, well, fair chance it wouldn't have worked out too well for her. But, you know, he did pull her right past his sword. Then again, she probably wouldn't be able to do anything before he could have, you know, done her in, so... It'd been a little... mean, you know... Wouldn't have been a good move.
Should I just spin it and pick a place to hide for a while? I need time to think.
Schedule for Middle Song's Eve. Empress, presented for your approval the schedule for Middle Song's Eve. Morning meal with Tivia Trade Commission. Presentation from research vessel Loblolly Swift, just returned from the new discovered island chain off of the Medician continent. Middle day meal with dignitaries from Morley, who will present you with a gift in exchange for attention to their complaints. Dedication and speech for the new wing at the infirmary house for aged seafarers. Meeting with advisors on the issue of blood flies in the south. Evening meal with Lord Corvo at his request. Eric Plainstow scheduling as secretary. Letter from advisor Helms Swatter. Empress, we face yet another murder, and I cannot remain silent on this matter. Strange is it not that all the victims have openly opposed you? If it not strange, then also very convenient. Is there anything you wish to tell me, Majesty? How can I be your advisor if you don't tell me, don't include me in the most sensitive of endeavors? I feel I must be the only person in Dunwell who does know the truth about the crown killer. Don't leave me out in the cold. I remain your trusted servant and advisor, Leonora Helmswater. I kind of want to play Corvo. Damn. Maybe I'll end up playing it twice. Well, twice close together. Ship launch protocol. Empress, after Royal Protector's shakedown cruise, will launch the ISS Jasmine Colwyn just for the anniversary of your mother's passing, pending your approval, of course. On the platform, we'll have a bottle of King's Street brandy tied to a long tether that you'll release to swing out against the hull. What you say during the ceremony is, of course, up to you, but here are some ideas intended to serve as food for thought. May a brisk wind hurry you to shores near, far, and fair. May you shelter your crew from the perils of the terrible ocean. May you always sail for Bristol, true of heart and homeward bound. Faithfully yours, Advisor Wainwright. Apparently there was a bit of a miscontinuity when it came to the bridge. In like the Dunwall Bridge, we crawled across it before to get to Sokolov. It's been re-angled. Also, that's good painting. It's the Hound Pits.
The Hound Pits pub. I can't believe it, but I actually miss those times.
Our most esteemed Empress, as you know, freight from Serkanos bound for Tivia, is now routinely set upon by pirates or spoiled by bloodflies. In addition to the loss of Tivian lives, be they crew, dock workers, or shopkeepers, there is the material cost of the cargo itself, which can barely be calculated. If things continue unchecked, we'll be forced to cease trading with Serkanos, and perhaps even embargo ships from the southernmost isles altogether. But this need not come to pass. The Trade Commission is a reasonable body and has already considered remedies to ameliorate, never seen that word before, the situation. We seek the following: independent, qualified inspectors at all ports, patrols to defend against pirates and smugglers, compensation for previous and future losses. If it is this list of remedies that I wish to discuss with you in person at the earliest possible opportunity. So far, your staff have resisted our efforts to establish a definitive time for negotiation. Prompt them to action, Majesty, for we're eager to travel to Dunwall. Until we can sit down and discuss this in a civilized fashion, I send you our best. Demian Sergin, Principal, Tivian Trade Commission.
I used to hide frogs in this old grandfather clock to drive the housekeepers mad. I thought life was complicated back then. How many times have I looked at that skyline? It feels like everything just changed.
Also, they really didn't do a good job at securing her, you know? I want to have a quick survey of here. Do I recognize anywhere? Like, I'm wondering if I'll notice the Hound Pits in the distance. I think that's the secure island. No, it mightn't be. Remembered final area? Yeah. Wonder if we'll ever end up at the Hound Pits. Do we... No. Can we even go anywhere from here? Yeah, I can see why they didn't really bother too much about this. Also, I feel the sensitivity still is a bit low. Controls. Crank it up to 60 on Beauregards. I think this is the relevant one. I have no idea. Yeah, that feels better. Is there actually anything to this? Not as far as I can tell. Come on. Just rub this on my top for a moment. Just make damn sure it just felt like it was the mouse at fault rather than the in-game sensitivity. Ah, there we go. What the?
Delilah is some sort of witch. How is this possible?
Oh.
Lady Emily, you're all right. I was worried. Where's the Royal Protector?
There's a coup underway. My father is... He's imprisoned, for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Through your safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks. Looking for the Royal Protector. Find her. Get out of Dunwall.
Alexei, I'm sorry. Goodbye.
before we go, let us... Sorry, it just feels like this is, you know, being rather sluggish. Not sure if it's the game settings being too low still, or if it's the mouse. The little pads on it are a little dirty. There's just a little build up on it. Should be better now. Then again, maybe it's the mouse pad. It's a bit old. Body dead. Dead. Wait. What's he? Who are these guys? No idea. Oh, I missed. Come on. Oh. Captain Mayhew, you don't know me, but you've got to tell the Lord Protector that I've urgent need of his time. I'm carrying a message that has to be delivered face to face. Tell him I'm working with Anton Sokolov, an old friend, an old hostage. All the boats are being sent away from the docks, but I'll delay as long as I can. Tell Lord Corvo to find me here. Find me there. My ship is called the Dreadful Whale. Megan Foster. Journal. This is what I need. I don't care about that. I have two things. Mortimer Ramsey, the Night Watch captain, has betrayed you. Has your signaling. Get it back and deal with him. Delilah and Duke Luca Abel have taken the tower. Dunwall is no longer a safe place for you. Escape the city by meeting up with a boat captain down at the docks. I've also heard that there's a bone crafting thing in this. Bone charm crafting. A new captain who goes by the name of Megan Foster arrived in Dunwall. She's looking for Corvo. Maybe she can help you. Yeah, there's a crafting thing, but we don't have it yet. We've this lore, and we've a thing. New Year. We're starting a new year. Maybe 1852 will be less boring than 1851. You got your wish. I can't wait for Wyman to get back to Dunwall. We'll go to the abandoned mansion discovered the other night at the edge of Rudshore. Maybe we'll have time to turn it into a scary haunted house beforehand, using sheets and hiding an old audiograph upstairs. Wyman will love that. We'll get spooked, hold hands, screaming and laughing. Come on, Emily. You promised to be more serious than listen to court, and you're already planning your next escape. Let's start this diary again. Proposal for a new decree on well oil rationing and distribution. And just 3 blank spaces. The anniversary. The time of year again. The anniversary of my mother's death. There's no real time for reflection though. It's all security protocols. Menus, guest lists, and it's possible to slip out at night. I feel like a caged bird. They've already got me memorizing this year's speech. It's endless. Would it be so terrible if I just said what I remember about her? That wink she gave me, even as she was scolding me, after I was caught climbing the statue of my grandfather. The sound of her footsteps as she paced at night. The time we shared a cabin on a boat trip to Driscoll. Or the time she agreed to let Corvo teach me to fish, but then had to pull a hook. From my arm. Now that would be a speech. Christ, Emily. What do you get up to? Ooh, here's one.
Emily, I know times are hard. You're the ruler of 4 nations. I won't pretend to understand the pressure you're under. Only you and your mother before you could know what that's like. Whoever's killing off your enemies is doing so for calculated effect, undermining us. I do know what it's like to be blamed for murders you didn't commit, but trust me, we'll find this crown killer, and they'll pay. Tomorrow is the anniversary of her death. A sad day for sure. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've held on to the throne, and you've done what you thought was right for the people of the Empire. You drained the flooded district, kept the gangs in check, and yesterday we launched a magnificent ship bearing Jessamine's name. You're becoming the sovereign your mother wanted you to be, and I'm proud of you.
Remember to